Hello YouTube, this is Dhruva Mundodi and welcome to my channel Mundodi Vlogs. So my dear friends, today I am riding my 1996 Bullet 350. So most of my viewers are aware of it. I purchased this bike about 1.5 years back and got it restored. This is the second Bullet in my garage. I also own a 2016 Bullet 350 with the UCE engine. The particular one which I am riding now has got a cast iron engine with heavy crank. So since from my childhood days, I have been hearing different stories about cast iron bullets from my dad, who himself had a 1982 model Bullet 350, and from different riders about the simplicity of the machine without any modern electronics and how well it felt to ride the bike. The feeling of riding the cast iron bullet was something special, they said, and how easy it was to maneuver the bike. And especially they told me about the thump of the cast iron bullet. They told me that every beat or every thump which came out of the cast iron engine through the exhaust, it connected with the rider's heart. Such was the feeling of riding a cast iron bullet. Especially people boasted about the slow moving capability of the cast iron bullet, which was something special, they said, because they could cruise their bike at a speed of 30-35 km per hour on top gear. Believe it or not, on top gear they could ride the bike at a speed of 30 or 35 km per hour without a single jerk. So after listening to all these stories, it was always my dream to purchase a cast iron bullet at least once in my lifetime. So in 2016, when I went to the Royal Enfield showroom to purchase a bullet, I knew that the cast iron bullet was long been discontinued, so I had to purchase a new version of the Bullet 350 which had a UCE engine. But the dream of acquiring the cast iron bullet was still inside my heart. So recently, about 1.5 years back, by God's grace, I got a chance to purchase a cast iron bullet. I got it restored. After the restoration was complete, I took my bike for a ride. Obviously, I was happy riding the bike because it felt like as if I am riding a brand new bike which rolled out of the showroom just few minutes back. So nicely we had restored the bike. But at the same time, I was really disappointed because I couldn't cruise my bike at a speed of 30 or 35 km per hour without jerks on top gear. So this was something very disappointing because the whole point of purchasing a cast iron bullet was to feel this pleasure of riding a bike, listening to the thump of a slow moving heavy crank cast iron bullet. But I couldn't experience it on my bike. So I was very disappointed, and so from that moment I started my research why my bike couldn't cruise on top gear at a speed of 30 or 35 km per hour without any jerks. And then I realized at some point of time in the late 90s, Royal Enfield was in a tricky situation wherein it had to compete with the Japanese bike which just came into the Indian market. These bikes had a greater top speed compared to Royal Enfield, and it attracted more and more youngsters towards it. So in a bid to get back those customers, Royal Enfield had to increase the top speed of their bike. So they did some modifications in the sprocket gearing ratios. So if you are someone with a cast iron bullet and you are facing a similar situation like me, or if you are owning a classic 350 UCE or a Electra 350 UCE, and most of your riding is inside town or most of your riding is on guard sections like me, and if you want to increase the torque and reduce the jerks on your bullet, then this video is for you. In this video, I'm gonna teach you how you can reduce the jerk and increase the torque of your bullet with the concept called sprocketing. It's a simple concept where we modify the primary sprocket of the chain drive system. For example, if we install a smaller sprocket with lesser number of teeth, it will increase the torque of the bike. The bike would require lesser number of gear shifts on hilly roads or on city roads. Also, it will reduce the jerks when you're on a top gear at slow speeds. And vice versa, if you install a bigger sprocket with more number of teeth, it will increase the top speed of the bike marginally, but at the same time you will have to compromise on the torque, and you might require a little bit more gear shifts on city roads or hilly roads because of the taller gear ratio. But now our aim is to achieve more torque and to reduce the jerks on top gear at slow cruising speeds to get that original vintage cast iron bullets riding feel. As usual, I'm at Ideal Garage Sulya. Now my mechanic is in the process of removing the clutch cover and clutch casing assembly. For that, he'll have to remove the foot pegs first. In order to access the primary chain sprocket, you'll have to remove the entire clutch assembly and the casing assembly as well. Here you can see he is loosening the bolt. The entire clutch cover is held together by one single bolt. Okay, the oil is dripping into the pan. It seems like the oil has become very old and it really needs to be changed. Okay. Now he is dismantling the clutch bell cover. Okay. Okay, the cover has come out. After that you can see the clutch springs over there. Okay, he has removed the clutch springs now. After that, now he is removing the clutch plates and the pressure plates. Okay, once that is done, now it's time for him to dismantle the magnet coil assembly. Okay, so here you can see the coil has come out. In between that coil there will be a magnet. When it rotates, it acts as a dynamo or a generator to produce electricity. Here you can see he is using a special tool to lock the clutch bell assembly so that it doesn't rotate when he is loosening the center lock nut of the clutch bell. For that he is using a T-spanner. Once that bolt is removed, after that you can dismantle the entire clutch bell assembly with the clutch chain as well. On cast iron bullets, even this clutch chain has to be tightened periodically. Okay, after that is done, he still has to loosen some bolts to remove the entire clutch cover assembly. It's not an easy process to access the primary chain sprocket. Okay, finally now we can see the chain sprocket over here. So here you can see he's removing the thread lock of the lock nut of the primary chain sprocket. After that, using this special tool, the nut has been removed. And finally, this is the primary chain sprocket. So here you can see. So let us count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So the original sprocket has got 16 teeth and the new one what I'm having has got 15 teeth. So this is the new sprocket what we are installing now. So our aim here is to achieve more torque and to reduce jerks on slower speeds on top gear. So we are installing a smaller sprocket in comparison with the stock sprockets. Here you can see the right hand side one is the new one with 15 teeth and the left hand side one is the old one with 16 teeth. So the installation process is pretty straightforward, just how we dismantled it, but do note installation of the magnet and magnet coil is not so easy. You'll have to follow a special procedure which I'll be showing now. After the magnet and the coil is placed in its position, you need some thin cardboard pieces like this. You might need about 5 to 6 pieces. Once that is done, insert those cardboard pieces in between the magnet and the coil. The main goal here is to achieve even gap between the magnet and the coil on all the directions. Once that is done, carefully and evenly tighten the bolts of the magnet coil. Do not over tight any single bolt. Our goal here is to achieve equal distance between the gaps on all the directions. Now he is checking if the cardboard is moving freely. Once the gap is evenly set, it should be very easy for you to remove the cardboard pieces without much resistance. After everything is fixed, now it's time for us to pour about 400 ml of oil to the clutch case. Now it's our time for a test drive. Whoa, just whoa, what a difference. I can easily cruise between 35 to 37 km per hour on top gear without a single jerk. Just listen to the exhaust notes. Wow, it's a music to the ears. What a feeling. I can instantly feel that torquey, behavior of the engine, and the power delivery is so punchy. I can feel the thump on my ears. It's too good and I'm really happy with the outcome. If I have to increase the speed, I just have to twist the throttle and see the instant response from 30 to 60 within seconds. What a difference. I'm aware that the top speed might have reduced by a margin, but who cares? It's all about the feel of riding these vintage bikes, and I'm really loving it. So my dear friends, if you own a cast iron bullet and if you want to achieve this kind of performance and if you want to source this particular sprocket, you can always contact me on my comment box and I'll help you to source the part for you. Also, if you guys have a classic 350 or Electra 350 with UCE engine, you can also achieve this kind of performance by installing the chain sprocket from the standard 350 of the UCE models. So that's it for today guys. I hope you have found my video to be informative and interesting. If you have liked my video, please hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed to Mundodi Vlogs, please subscribe to my channel Mundodi Vlogs for more such informative and interesting videos in the future. Thank you friends.